Today on the Daily Scoop podcast from the Scoop News Group. 2-year tech force stints are aimed at young people's approach to work, according to the head of OPM. And President Trump taps Mark Zuckerberg, Larry Ellison, and more for the White House's Science and Technology Advisory Panel. It's Thursday, March 26, 2026. Welcome to the Daily Scoop podcast, where you'll hear the latest news and trends facing government leaders. I'm the host of the Daily Scoop podcast, Billy Mitchell. Thanks so much for joining me. And now let's dive into the day's top headlines. As the Trump administration makes a bid to hire more young people into the federal government via the tech force, the leader of the Office of Personnel Management told lawmakers he doesn't believe stability is the biggest draw for the next generation. OPM Director Scott Kupor told lawmakers on the House Appropriations Subcommittee on Financial Services and the General Government at a Wednesday oversight hearing.
We designed this tech force program for 2 years because I don't think young people actually think about 40-year careers.
Kupor said that's why the Tech Force, the administration's program to fill federal tech vacancies with early career workers, was designed for 2-year increments. He later stated that he doesn't think stability for young people is the most compelling message. The comments arose in an exchange between Kupor and Representative Steny Hoyer, Democrat of Maryland, the ranking member of the subcommittee, about the message that OPM is sending to attract younger people to the federal government. The federal workforce has long had overrepresentation of older workers, which is an issue multiple administrations have aimed to address. The tech force is the latest attempt to remedy those proportions. That effort, however, follows the Trump administration's large-scale efforts to reduce the number of federal employees, leading to some skepticism about how it will effectively attract talent. Hoyer probed Kupor about the stability question, specifically referencing comments from Office of Management and Budget Director Russell Vogt brought to light by ProPublica that he wanted bureaucrats to be traumatically affected by the administration's workforce policies.
We want the bureaucrats to be traumatically affected. We want, when they wake up in the morning, we want them to not want to go to work.
Hoyer explained that in doing so, the administration has undermined stability of the federal workforce. But in response, Kupor said that while there might have been a time when young people wanted that, he believes currently that young people have different focuses. Now in other news, the technology industry is heavily represented in President Donald Trump's first list of appointees to restock a White House Science and Technology Advisory Panel. Among the 13 appointees to the President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology, or PCAST, were Meta's Mark Zuckerberg, Oracle's Larry Ellison, Google's Sergey Brin, and Nvidia's Jensen Huang. That panel will be co-chaired by David Sachs, Trump's AI and crypto czar, and Michael Kratsios, director of the Office of Science and Technology Policy. The PCAST has been around for decades as a way for the White House to receive feedback from scientists, engineers, technologists, and representatives from the private sector. While Trump announced the reestablishment of the council via executive order in January 2025, there hadn't yet been details on its membership. In addition to the Wednesday list, the White House said it expects to announce more appointees in the near future, along with information about the council's first meeting. Trump's PCAST will include up to 24 members. The first round of appointees are Mark Andreessen, the co-founder of VC firm Andreessen Horowitz, Sergey Brin, co-founder of Google, Safra Catz, executive vice chair and former CEO of Oracle, Michael Dell, founder, chairman, and CEO of Dell Technologies, Jacob DeWitt, co-founder and CEO of Oklo, Fred Ehrsam, co-founder of Coinbase, Larry Ellison, co-founder and CTO of Oracle, David Friedberg, venture capitalist, founder of the Climate Corporation and co-host of the All In podcast with David Sachs, Jensen Huang, co-founder and CEO of Nvidia, John Martinez, a physics professor at the University of California, Santa Barbara, and co-winner of the 2025 Nobel Prize for Physics, Bob Mumgard, co-founder and CEO of Commonwealth Fusion Systems, Lisa Su, president and CEO of AMD, and finally Mark Zuckerberg, co-founder and CEO of Meta, formerly Facebook. For more news at the intersection of the federal government and technology, make sure to visit fedscoop.com. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of the Daily Scoop podcast, available on all podcast platforms. If you've already rated the podcast on your platform of choice, thanks so much. High ratings and good reviews of the show help more people to find it. The Daily Scoop podcast is a production of the Scoop News Group in Washington, D.C. Adam Butler and Carlin Fisher help put the show together, and the entire Scoop News Group team contributes. We'll be back tomorrow with more top headlines. Until then, I'm your host, as always, Billy Mitchell. Thanks so much for listening.